If you haven't already, please, please, please go see The Sound of Freedom. Holy cow. I watched it yesterday. Genuinely, it is. Oh, man. If you've never heard of it, then, well, I guess this is me telling you about it. So, The Sound of Freedom is, it was made by, I believe, and I'm not entirely sure, so don't base like all your information off of me. Remember, I'm just like a dude in a bathrobe. I'm not I'm not your source of good information. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. So there was these guys who came over from Mexico, they immigrated to the US and they wanted to make a movie. And they wrote this movie called The Sound of Freedom. Now, this movie is, see, most movies are made for entertainment or, like you mentioned, information. This movie was made to spread a message, and that message is the horrors of child trafficking. It is, in fact, the fastest growing crime, fastest growing crime market in the world. Soon it's going to be cocaine in the drug trade. Because cocaine can only be sold once. Child, slave, they can be sold 5 times a day for 10 years straight. I truly believe that in my mind, that is the worst crime a person can ever possibly commit. Murder. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, murder is the worst crime. Murder, there's second degree, first degree. Like, oh, I was drunk in a bar, we got in a fight, and I pushed him, and he hit his head and died. That's a horrible tragedy. And of course, there's serial killers, but those guys are the exception. They're freaking insane. But to kidnap a child, not just like a 14-year-old kid. No, 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 no. These people start early. 5, 4, sometimes even freaking infants taken and turned into slaves. There are more slaves on Earth right now than any other time in history, even when slavery was legal. Like, back in the 1700s, where it was legal to own slaves, there are less in the entire world than there are right now. It's, Jesus. This movie was made, and this just goes to show how horrible and dark this gets. They made this movie 5 years ago, and it just now is coming out. Why? And it's not like, oh yeah, we started making it 5 years ago, because movies take a long time to make. This was finished, like complete, ready to go into theaters 5 years ago. 5 years ago. They went to Hollywood, pitched the movie. Hey, we made this movie. Will you help us make this movie? They all said no. Think about that. A movie about the horrors of child trafficking. People said, no, we won't make that movie. We don't want that message spread. We don't want to spread the message that kids are getting kidnapped and forced to do horrible things. They said, no, we won't make that movie. They finally went to Angel Studios. Angel Studios says, yes, we'll make this movie. They made it. And they still struggled. They had every roadblock imaginable. Because people don't want this message getting out. The reason I'm not entirely sure, maybe this crime is too powerful, or maybe they don't want to get it out. But now it is out. At the beginning of the movie, there was a message. They said a message at the end of the movie. And they explained how the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. And you may say, oh, that's ridiculous. There's presidents and dictators and all these other powerful people. Abraham Lincoln, the guy who ended slavery in America. I am. I said he wasn't. That's my dog, by the way. Abraham Lincoln said that he was inspired by the book Uncle Tom's Cabin. The horrors of slavery. Now think about this. They made a movie way more easily accessible than the book by the horrors of slavery. Yeah. Because the fight is still not over. Think Abraham Lincoln ended slavery? No. He made it illegal. I fear it will never end. So please go watch this movie. Or it's dark. It's dark. Please go see the movie. It's based on a true story. Just keep that in mind. It's based on a true story. Everything that happened in this movie happened in reality. Go watch it. Stay wild.